This episode is brought to you by our friends at Hover, the easiest way to buy domain names and do more with them. Get 10% off today by visiting hover.com/butterscotch.
I'm Andy Walker at CES Unveiled, and of course, you're checking out Lenovo. Of course they have tablets, or is it a slate, or is it, I don't know. Sam, you tell me, what are you guys working on here?
What we've got here, as you talked about, when people start talking about running a Microsoft OS in an environment, do you call it a slate, do you call it a tablet?
It's a Windows 7 slate tablet thing.
Whatever you want to call it, but basically it's a form factor that's portable, it's thin, it's lightweight, and it comes in a slate form factor.
Right, and it's so this is not an official product yet, it's a prototype.
Yeah, it's a product we're demonstrating here. We hope to bring it to market in the May-June timeframe, so we're demonstrating it here today for the people attending CES.
Right. So the time the summer comes, you know, we'll be seeing this product. It'll have a name, it'll have a full-on price point, and all the rest of it.
It'll come in different configurations for Wi-Fi connectivity or 3G. So whatever you're familiar with today in connectivity and notebook computers, this slate or tablet, as we call it, will also have similar capabilities.
Now, what's the processor power right now in it?
Well, right now you're running probably about a 1.5 gigahertz processor, a derivative of an Intel chip today. But again, it's powerful enough and good enough to give an experience that the Windows user has come to be familiar with on their notebook computers.
So will you be running Windows 7 exclusively? Would you put on Android on there? What will you be doing?
The design point for this, we have another platform design which you can see behind us. It actually is the same configuration with a 10.1 that is ARM-based running Android.
Yes.
So the customer will have a choice. Right. If he's a user who's familiar with the Android from the smartphone environment and the applications that Android has, and he wants that environment, he can go that path. But from a hardware or a piece of configuration of hardware that you're holding there, the form factor looks the same. If I put them side by side, you couldn't tell the difference.
So this is customer's choice.
When you click on the application, you're either familiar with the Android application suites and the apps that you can get today from the App Store, or you're familiar with Microsoft, in which case you're going to be with this kind of a model you have here.
So come in 2011, like here we are in 2011, by the time this ships, the customer will be able to choose their OS, choose the configuration, processor power, memory.
Well, processor power, you're really going to try to optimize for the best battery life and performance. So we'll probably lock down at some speed of processing technology that gives a good battery life experience, because the last thing you want to have is a very highly mobile device. As you've experienced with smartphones, the smarter we made them, the less the battery life has become, because we've turned them more into PCs. So you really want to balance the processing performance with the operating system environment, in this case Microsoft, and match that. But you'll get configurations of Wi-Fi, WAN, and what storage capacities you want to have as well.
Now I notice now, obviously I'm touching this, I can touch this, but also you give me a pen.
Yeah.
So tell me about that.
Well, a pen as an option could be fundamental for drawing programs or other applications that are out there. So the sensitivity of the pen does give you accuracy to get into some of the smaller icons that you might experience in a Windows environment. But as I've told people, the accuracy in the digitizers is such right now, I actually probably don't need to have a pen in many cases. But for applications that are designed, graphics designers, artists, text recognition, I now have the pen and I can actually use the pen. If I want to, I could go in and write my name, do simple things for character recognition. All that's been improved drastically, both by the digitizer technologies and the form factors that are out there. So you can do a lot more. This adds flexibility, so you have the choice. You don't have to use it, but you can use it.
You can. Price-wise, what are we looking at here?
Depending on configuration and how the end user wants to buy it, if he buys down with like a home OS up to a home premium, or if he wants Wi-Fi versus WAN, the range could be anywhere, say, between $499 to $799. It just depends on how he wants to configure the system.
Wow, so the customer will be able to configure the version that they want.
From an operating system and a connectivity standpoint, those are the things I think customers have to decide. Do I need a full Microsoft OS? Am I okay with the Home Edition? Or do I need just Wi-Fi connectivity versus 3G? Because not everybody's going to go buy a service contract for 2 years and add another expense, because you have to add that into the price you're offering. So if you buy it for $399, now I'm locked into another contract for a couple years. And that's some of the downfall of some of the Android elements, is you got to get into a device, well, then you have to connect it. You want to connect to 3G, now you're tied into you're in for more money.
Where can I find out more information?
For right now, I check for Lenovo.com.
Lenovo.com. You know, Lenovo's in tablets, they're not going away. They're showing a couple of different form factors, so you'll be able to configure them. That's the amazing part. Custom tablets for you, using Windows 7, Android, whatever you want, from Lenovo. Check out Lenovo.com. For show notes on this, butterscotch.com.
This episode is brought to you by our friends at Hover, the easiest way to buy domain names and do more with them. Get 10% off today by visiting hover.com/butterscotch.